environmentalist and in an undersea world that was tasked with quest and with tasks with preserving coral reef, like picking up trash and catching invasive species and planting artificial reef. So the features for our games would be mostly three parts, which are the innovation. Okay.
Okay. So first, that we feel that this product is innovative because I've seen like a few other games about coral reefs made by other educators, which I think is fine. They're meant to be accessible for children to play and learn, but I think the Coral Quest aimed for an interactive, fun gameplay to be combined with that education. And the game is designed with like Gen Z in mind, most or more specifically like from the 6th to 10th grade, because that's the grade that game-based learning works the best with. And because that generation also cares a lot about the environment, so we decided to choose that. And lastly, why games? We feel that the medium of gaming is better as it allows more interactivity, and it allows the player to actually do the things and let them actually understand it thoroughly.
So
And okay.
no. Okay, so for the key game features that we add into our games, these are the three key, which is coral reef management, so players can build their own ecosystem, and also it's also involve multiplayer collaboration, like players can work together or maybe compete for the healthiest coral reef to make it more engaging. And there are also quests and NPCs that make it like clownfish or maybe others sea creatures that can like give them rewards and fun facts about the sea and coral reef specifically. Okay, so beginning of the game, like, players will have to complete a tutorial quest line, maybe like plant artificial reef and pick up trash, which will help them gain a more naturally and firm understanding of what coral reefs are and how they can preserve them. And after that, they can uh
So, so like after the tutorial quest line, I think this is the more important task, is that players need to build and sustain like a balanced ecosystem centered around coral reefs with like predators and prey, and try to not to get things like overpopulation, which will help them understand what coral reefs do in nature to the surrounding ecosystem. Tippy. These are just like the way this is like a system for the coral quest, like win conditions and losing conditions. It's not that important. Yeah.
Practical usage. The game also doesn't need to be presented by itself. It will be combined in a lesson about coral reefs as a way for students to experience coral reef, which make learning about it more effective and let them truly understand the problem. After you complete a quiz testing your knowledge at the end of Coral Quest, you will be given a certificate with your name on it. This will help encourage more people to play and help them to be more understand of the coral reefs.
No, that the coconut. So that's basically like really it. It's just a future. So can we have like a feedback of what we're doing here? Thank you.
Okay, well, I thank you for contacting me. I love the idea of the game. I think it's really important to have games that can teach other people about the coral reef environment. I like that you have I like that the winning is actually having a balanced ecosystem, right? Where you have your predators, your not predators. Right now, coral reefs, the main challenge for coral reefs is actually climate change, right? Corals are bleaching, and I'm not exactly sure how are you incorporating coral bleaching in your game. Do you guys know what coral bleaching is?
Uh,
Let me put it in the chat. Coral bleaching, like this.
so,
Okay. I think this is like a pretty new like area that we haven't really like discovered a lot on. So can you give us some more advice on how we can incorporate like coral bleaching into the game and how we can make it sort of a bit more simple so the overall like the dynamic of the people playing the game can understand?
Yes, so let me, I guess let me show you what it is. So I'm gonna,
Can you share your screen?
yeah, but I'm just trying to find my lecture so that I can show you. Hold on. So what are your names? You can tell me
oh,
while I open the stuff.
so my name is Minh Phúc.
Mhm.
And my name is Chiang.
And my name is Bao Long.
These are like Vietnamese names, so they might be a bit
Yeah.
new.
That's okay. Okay, so I think I'm trying to open coral physiology. This is, let me see. Okay, so let me share my screen. So coral bleaching, where do I share my screen? React,
It should be on the bar on the bottom of your screen.
bottom,
Yeah, there is a share button. Yeah.
share with multiple participants. I actually don't see it. Where is it? Where did you guys see your share screen?
We had like a bar on the bottom of our screen with like a green share button that allows us to share our application window.
I love it. Who's that? Choi Hai Long? Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually our coach. Yeah. Just a little bit of context, like these are students from my old middle and high school, and they wanted to get your opinion, like because they are entering this competition, right? So they wanted to get your professional opinion on their project. And I thought it would be a great opportunity to sort of help them connect with you so they can gain some more insights.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I find the share button, but for some reason I don't see the where I see my screens and I know
Mhm.
which one to share.
Or maybe you can send the slide into the chat and then we can take a look at it later on, if that's okay with you.
Maybe I can just give you like if you type coral bleaching online,
Hmm.
you can see a tons of pictures.
Hmm.
So that you can see. So coral bleaching, and let me see if I can just do this very quick. Where are you guys? Zoom, right? So corals, like on the screen that you have on the right side, is a healthy coral. Right? Corals are the things that kind of look like rocks. Do you guys know what a coral is?
Yes.
Yes.
Or do you guys, so there's a difference between coral and coral reef, right? So a reef is just a structure made out of corals, and the corals are animals. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So these corals inside their bodies are gonna have a little seaweed called algae. And let me show you a picture of an algae. They have inside their tissues, they're gonna have little seaweed that looks like the ones I'm showing you. Those are dinoflagellates. And so when the coral is stressed out, those little algae leave the coral, and that's why it looks white. So they bleach. And when the corals bleached, some of them die and some might not die and survive. But when they are bleached, they are very vulnerable to diseases and they can die. And if they die, all the other species that are in your game will die, right? Because the corals are like the trees of the forest. So I think your game should also have some sort of super enemy or something called climate change that will bleach the corals. And so that's also a very important ecological problem in coral reefs. And I think you should somehow incorporate it in your game. Because it's not just about not having pollution, right? Or no, it's not just about you want all these fish here. Corals need to be healthy in order for all the other organisms in the reefs to survive. So I don't think that I've seen a game that has incorporated coral bleaching. And I think it's super important because a lot of corals around the world are dying because of bleaching. So if you could incorporate it, that would be really cool.
Then may I ask you what are like the current ways people are dealing with coral bleaching?
That's such a great question. And it's really problematic because that's happening globally, right? So that's why it's really hard to do something about it. But trying not to have a lot of CO2 waste, right? It's the best way because right now the earth is warming up because of a lot of CO2 released, right? That is being trapped in the atmosphere, and that's making the earth and the oceans warm. And because they are getting warmer, the corals cannot handle very high temperatures for a long time. So they get all like, right? Like they stress out and they bleach. And that's the problem. So CO2 is a big one, but it's a global solution, not just a local solution, right? When you do something for the trash, it's something you can do in your town, right? But when you're talking about a global problem, you need all of us, especially the countries that pollute the most, like, US, Europe, and some other big Asian countries too. But I think it's a really good idea. I like some of the graphics. So I want to know, for example, where are you in the process? Are you just getting started? Can I play? Can my daughter play already? Is it available for people?
Oh, we've just started. We haven't reached the phase that we can actually like let other people play yet. Yeah, we've just started like fairly recently, I think.
Okay. No, I think it's a good idea. And I actually was a judge in a video game competition before. And so, yeah. So I have some ideas that I've seen in other video games that are just getting started. But I think the topic it's fine. Do you have other specific questions for me? Because as a scientist, I can, I guess, help you with accuracy, right? But I'm not exactly sure what other questions you have for me right now that could help you in your next phase.